an alumnus of the University of Delhi. Professor Jiten Shug received his doctorate in chemistry from Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai in 2008, where he used nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy as a tool for the study of biomacromolecules. Professor Chuk developed novel strategies that allowed for the first time studying the formation of mega Dalton sized self assembly of proteins by NMR. Professor Chuk also created NMR pulse sequences that allowed fast resonance assignments of proteins. After his PhD, he worked as a postdoctoral fellow at his University of Michigan, USA. During his 4 years of postdoctoral training, he has done so many things over there, and he gained experience in studying the dynamics of nucleic acids, fluorinated peptides, and live viruses by NMR currently, which is the present day problems of COVID-19 like kind of situation also. He is a faculty member in the Department of Chemistry and Biology at IISER Pune. He is exploring molecular dynamics at the interface of protein RNA interaction by NMR and applying NMR based metabolomics to a variety of biological problems. So the basic now the Professor Chug is with us, but when I asked, he asked me what we have to speak over there because his area is very broad and COVID-19. I think it's in field of COVID-19. He is working brilliantly, and it's a epitome on that particular field. But the undergraduate student could not understand all the technicalities of COVID-19. So he will teach you according to your undergraduate status, right? Professor, you can start your session, sir. You are welcome in Shyamlal College. From the behalf of Shyamlal College, I am welcoming you, our faculty, our student. We are welcoming you, sir, in Shyamlal College. Thank you, sir. Sir, you can start your session.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the kind introduction and giving me a chance to interact with young students. So let me start with sharing my slides. Can you see my slides?
Sure, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Okay. So the topic in which my lab works on is nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. I'm sure some of you must have heard about at least the term NMR spectroscopy. So I will give you a basic flavor of what we do and how it can be applicable to study cells, tissues, and organisms uh, based on metabolomic studies, and then we can have a discussion over anything if you want to discuss related to how you can contribute towards active research, and also if you have any questions related to NMR or metabolomics or COVID. Okay, so let me start by introducing the term metabolomics. So the omics word, what is the omics word? So we all know the study of DNA and RNA is categorized as genomics. Uh, then similarly, study of transcription of RNA into proteins is called as transcriptomics, and study of proteins is called as proteomics. So all of these studies, in all of these studies, what we are trying to do is basically we are trying to correlate these sequences and structures and their corresponding functions with respect to the phenotype of the organism. How a organism or cell responds given a kind of stress, environmental stress or drug stress or disease stress, and how these sequences or structures change, and how can we identify or predict these effects, right? So within the same strategies, there is a study of small molecule metabolites, which are the result of metabolism. We all know what metabolism is, which are the result of metabolism as a result of protein-protein or protein RNA or protein DNA interactions within the cell, and is called as metabolomics. Okay. So when we combine genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, and metabolomics, it basically gives you a system-wide view of the organism or cellular response. So metabolomics refers to systematic identification and quantification of small molecules. So when I say small molecules, I mean Typically, the size of these molecules are 1500 Daltons or less, and how a biological system responds to a given stress can be measured by how metabolome changes, because metabolome is highly dynamic. The moment you eat an ice cream or the moment you sneeze, your metabolome will change. So it is very important to capture the right metabolome at the right point, and then try to understand what is happening in the body, right? So again, metabolome refers to complete set of small molecule metabolites, and these are intermediates and products of various metabolic pathways. So what are the factors which can affect metabolomics or metabolome? These are genetic and epigenetic factors. Age can affect. Environmental stress. If you are having any disease, the metabolome will be changed. If you are under the influence of any drug, uh, based on nutrition, what kind of lifestyle you are adopting. So all that will affect your metabolome, and this metabolome in turn is related to the phenotype. So it is very, very important to study metabolome and then correlate the metabolome with genomics and proteomics and transcriptomics studies, okay, to get a complete picture. Okay, so what are the techniques that are used to study metabolomics? So one of the major technique is NMR spectroscopy. On the left hand side, you can see the typical NMR setup. I will try to explain what all is in here. Then on the right hand side, you can see a mass spectrometry setup. So both the techniques have their own advantages and disadvantages. For example, NMR is highly reproducible, whereas mass is highly sensitive. NMR gives you absolute concentration of metabolites when you are measuring any sample, whereas mass gives you a relative concentration. NMR is non-destructive to samples, whereas mass is highly resolved technique. So at the bottom, you can see a typical proton NMR spectrum and a typical MS spectrum over here of a metabolite sample. Okay, so now let us try to understand the NMR spectroscopy a little. So I'm sure as a school student, all of you would have done this experiment, which is shown in a schematic over here, where you freely suspend a bar magnet in Earth's magnetic field, and it tries to realign in Earth's magnetic field direction, that is north-south direction, right? All of you would have done this experiment, I'm sure. Uh, Now, when you freely suspend a bar magnet, what happens? The north pole of bar magnet goes to south of Earth, and south pole of bar magnet goes to north of Earth, right? So that is the lower energy conformation. And the moment you perturb it by hand, let's say you give a manual perturbation, you try to move the bar magnet, it will go to as long as the perturbation is there, south can be stabilized to south and north can be stabilized to north. But this is a very high energy and it is extremely less stable conformation of the bar magnet. The moment you release the manual perturbation, it will go back to its original thermal equilibrium position, right, which is north to south and south to north. Now exactly same thing happens in NMR spectroscopy, where instead of a bar magnet we deal with a nuclear magnet. Each tiny nucleus of a given molecule behaves like a bar magnet. Okay, and then we supply external magnetic field. No, we don't do experiments in Earth's magnetic field. We supply very high external magnetic field, which is obtained by superconducting magnets. And the perturbation is not given by hand. It is not possible because you can't really hold a single uh, magnetic moment, right? Uh, so what we do is the perturbation to go from lower energy to higher energy state is given by a radio frequency pulse. And now that when the perturbation is stopped, you watch it go back and study the physical property of a given molecule, and that's what you do in NMR spectroscopy. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop me in the middle of the talk also. There is no hurry to cover the whole topic, but I think we should, whatever is covered, we should cover in more details. Okay. So now I use the term nuclear spin. So let us see what is a nuclear spin. So nuclear spin is a fundamental property of nucleus. So each particle of which the matter is made up of has three fundamental properties. So one is mass, another is charge, and third is spin. So mass and charge we are very well familiar of, because we can feel the particles, as in let's say if I lift a pen, I know that pen is heavy, so pen has mass. So that means all the particles which is constituting pen have mass. So the mass, fundamental property mass, make it to the classical word or make it to the macroscopic word, and so we can feel it. We can also feel charge by doing simple experiments. We have seen positives getting attracted to negatives. For example, if we rub comb on our hair, we can see the small it can lift small papers, small pieces of papers, right? So there is a charge separation which we can feel. We all see electricity running around in our house, so all that is based on charge, right? So charge is also fundamental property of particles, that makes up to the macroscopic word, and that's how we can see it. Whereas spin is a fundamental property which nobody has seen, because when particles combine to pair up energy levels, the spin of the particles get cancelled with each other, and it does not make it up to the macroscopic word. So so if we look at the pen, we don't have we don't say that the pen has a spin angular momentum, whereas each fundamental particle of which the pen is made up of has spin angular momentum. So what is this spin angular momentum? So if I try to give you an example, you can see you must have played with wooden top uh, uh, as a kid, right? So where you actually spin the top and you see that the spinning top stays upright on the ground, right? So let me show you. Yeah, here is the picture. So you must have all seen the spinning top. So you spin it using a thread and it stays upright. So whatever force which it creates is called as spin angular momentum, which is along the axis, which tries to balance against the force due to gravity. Now, the same force is present in particles also, fundamental particles also. For example, neutrons and protons. So neutron has spin half, proton also has spin half. So that means it has certain amount of spin angular momentum. Now, there is a theorem in quantum mechanics saying that the particles which are charged and those have non-zero spin. So that means the particles which have spin angular momentum and which have charge will create a magnetic moment. That means the protons will create a magnetic moment. So protons will be active under or responding under magnetic field. If you apply a external magnetic field, it will respond because it will have a magnetic moment. That means it will behave like a small tiny bar magnet. So neutrons on the other hand will not do that. So neutrons are not active under magnetic field. Whereas, so when neutrons and protons combine in certain fashions, certain nuclei are NMR active and certain nuclei are not NMR active. Okay, so we deal with nuclei which are NMR active so that we can play them around under external magnetic field and play them around using radio frequency pulses. Okay, so this is the very basic flavor of NMR spectroscopy which I've tried to give you, but let's see what all it has. So this is the NMR spectrometer. This complete setup is called as NMR spectrometer. So what we have on the left hand side is a big drum which contains superconducting magnets. So why do we have such a big drum? Because superconducting magnets are possible or can be stabilized only at very low temperatures, which are 4 Kelvin or 2 Kelvin in value. So this temperature is obtained by liquid helium bath. So the whole superconducting coil is present inside liquid helium, and then this whole thing is surrounded by liquid nitrogen to maintain the vacuum and the heat. And within this drum, there is also a radio frequency coil which is present at the center. And now at the very center of that, the sample goes and sits inside. Okay, so this over here, this white tube is shown as a sample tube. It's made out of glass which contains roughly zero point 0.5 ml of sample. And this NMR console is basically nothing but the electronics which are present to uh, carry out different experiments. And then there is a workstation to control all the electronics and all the magnetic parts. Okay, so this is a complete setup. If you ever come to ICER, or if you ever go to university department, also you will see Department of Chemistry North Campus. There are many spectrometers there, so you should be able to see if how it works. Okay. Okay, so now let me give you a brief of how this NMR experiment works. So let's say I take zero point 0.5 ml of water sample. So water will have, each proton in the water molecule will have certain magnetic moment, right? So proton, as I said, is NMR active. So it will have magnetic moment, which is shown as a black arrow over here. So this is a vector quantity. It has both direction as well as magnitude. So that's why it is shown as a arrow. So now all these magnetic moments are originally randomly distributed. So if you take a XYZ sum, or if you take a vector sum of all this, there is no net magnetic moment in the sample, because all of them will cancel with each other. They will all be randomly distributed. So there are typically, if you take 1 millimolar sample, if you take a zero point 0.5 ml sample, it's 110 molar in concentration. So 110 molar means roughly 10 to the power 23 spins, right? So 10 to the power 23 spins, that is a large number of spins present. So they will all cancel with each other. Now, when you apply external magnetic field, there is some difference between the spins which are or which are with the direction of the magnetic field, and some of the spins will go against the direction of the magnetic field. This is exactly in the same way I've shown here. Some of the spins will be with the direction of the magnetic field, some of them will be opposing the direction of the magnetic field. Those ones which are opposing the magnetic field will be higher energy, will have higher energy, and this will be a lower energy state. Okay. So now, because there will be a population difference between alpha and beta state. So alpha state, let's say alpha is the state which is with the magnetic field, beta is the state which is against the magnetic field. There would be a population difference, and that would lead to creation of net magnetic moment. Now, this net magnetic moment is what we play along in NMR spectroscopy. Okay, so once you have applied external magnetic field, you develop something called as net magnetic moment, which is nothing but vector sum of all the uh, uh, all the nuclear magnets in the presence of external magnetic field. Now, when you perturb this net magnetic moment using a radio frequency pulse, you can perturb it to, let's say, XY plane. The moment you bring this vector to XY plane, and then you stop the radio frequency pulse, it will start to go back, and it will do a motion in a spiral cone kind of fashion. So this red vector over here, it moves in xy plane, and it slowly comes, it slowly folds back towards z axis. So if you follow the tip of the vector, it makes a shape of a birthday hat kind of thing, right? So it's a spiral motion in spiral cone. Okay. Now, during this process, we can uh, we can put our recorder active, or we can activate our recorder. So what is our data recorder? Basically, if you measure the length of this vector as it is moving, if this vector is moving, if you measure the length of this vector along y-axis, you will realize that it will follow a cosine curve. Okay, so the length of the vector is maximum here, minimum here, 0 here, and 0 here, right? So when it is when you take the projection of this vector along y-axis, the length will be maximum here, the length will be 0 here, 0 at minus x, and minus y will give you a negative maximum, right? So it will basically do a cosine curve kind of thing as a function of time. And also the length of the vector is decreasing, so that's why the cosine wave will be a decaying cosine wave in nature. Okay. So now what exactly is our detector? So detector is nothing but a coil, external coil placed around the sample. So when you have a magnetic field uh, present because of the sample, so magnetic field changing across the coil, what will happen? The current will be induced in the coil, right? So we must have learned Maxwell's laws. So when there is a changing magnetic field cutting across the coil, there is an induction of current in the coil, right? So now that current has a decaying cosine wave function in nature, and when you look at a cosine wave, there is a frequency associated with it. So that frequency can be extracted using a mathematical technique called as Fourier transformation. So if when you Fourier transform a cosine wave, you will get a peak, right? So when there is only a single proton in the sample, you will get only one type of frequency. So that's why you will get only one peak in the spectrum. Okay. When you have three protons relaxing back, let's say if you are dealing with alcohol, ethanol molecule, so you will have three protons relaxing at their own frequencies, right? So then you will have three peaks in the spectrum, and this is the corresponding free induction decay, or uh, NMR spectrum in the time domain region. Okay. So depending on how many number of or how many type of protons are present, you will see the number of peaks in the spectrum. I will show you an example. So let's say if all the protons present, let's say if there are three types of protons present and all the protons resonate at a or relax back at same frequency, single frequency, then all the protons will present at a single frequency in the NMR spectrum. Then the technique is basically useless because we are not able to distinguish CH3, CH2, and OH protons of ethanol. But it does not happen like that because the protons are present in different chemical environment, so they resonate at different frequencies, something like this. Okay. So the frequency positions, so or the positions in the frequency spectrum are different for different protons when they are present at uh, in different chemical environments. So when I say chemical environment, what do I mean? For example, OH chemical environment of hydrogen in OH is different than CH2 is different in than CH3. Why is it different? Because the electron density around the proton is different, because oxygen is an electronegative element, more electronegative as compared to carbon. So oxygen will try to pull away electron density from hydrogen as compared to CH2 and as compared to CH3, right? So that changes the electronic environment or chemical environment around the proton, which changes its frequency of relaxation. And this frequency actually is then manifested in something called as chemical shift or position in the frequency spectrum. Okay. Yes, I see somebody raising hand. So, do we have a doubt? Any doubt?
Ayushi, you raise hand. You want to ask something to sir? Okay, sir. No
Oh,
problem. Might be by
नो मैम,
default she did. Yes, yes.
नो मैम, वो गलती से हाथ रेज हो गया.
Okay, okay.
it's okay. Okay. So, so for example, now if this is the NMR spectrum of methyl tertiary butyl, this is just a random molecule which I've chosen just to give you a flavor of how NMR spectrum looks like. So for example, here there are two different types of proton. One is the methyl proton, another is tertiary butyl group over here. So tertiary butyl group has 9 protons, methyl group has 3 protons. Methyl group protons are closer to oxygen as compared to tertiary butyl protons, right? Because there is one more carbon present in between here. So closer means that methyl group will be closer to oxygen. That means oxygen will be pulling away electron density from this proton more effectively as compared to this. So that effect shows up in the chemical shift or the position of that peak in the NMR spectrum. So more is the electron density pulling, the more it will shift towards higher frequency. Okay. So for example, here now the methyl protons are coming up at 3.2 ppm, and tertiary butyl group protons are coming at 1.2 ppm. So that is a lower frequency value as compared to this one. So that is one property which is used in analysis. So what is the relative position of different peaks? If the position is at higher frequency, that means the that particular proton is closer to electronegative element. If the position is closer to 0 ppm or lower frequency, that means the proton is connected to electron donating groups. Okay. In addition to that, another parameter which is interesting is the number of signals. So here you have total 12 protons in the sample, whereas the number of signals which you are getting is only 2. So why is that? Because all the three protons of methyl based on symmetry belongs to same identical chemical shift. So that's why they all come at same position. And similarly, the 9 protons over here come at a respective position because symmetrically they are placed in the molecular structure. Symmetrically, they are placed in same chemical environment. So all the 9 protons will come at same chemical shift, right? Now that actually gives you a very good handle that the ratio of the intensity of these peaks will be equal to the ratio of the protons present of that type. So for example, if you calculate the ratio of these two intensities, it will be 3:9. And this basically tells you that the ratio of the protons of these two groups is 1:3. Okay, so these are the few features which we use very extensively in analysis of metabolites. So let's see. So this is an example of chemical shift playing a role. So for example, if you are connected to a carboxylic acid group versus a hydroxyl group or versus a amide group, your chemical shift of that particular proton will be different. So depending on what is the functional group present, the corresponding chemical shift of that proton in NMR spectrum will be very, very different, right? So you can actually get a sense of what functional groups are present based on the chemical shift. Okay. Now, in addition to that, there is also a feature which is called as spin-spin coupling. So what is spin-spin coupling? If you look at the fine structure of the spectra is, or the peak is further divided into a triplet or a doublet or a quartet kind of pattern. So what is this pattern coming due to? So the pattern is coming due to something called as N+1 effect or neighboring group effect. So not exactly neighboring group effect, it is called as N+1 rule. So what is N+1 rule? N+1 rule says that if I'm probing a proton over here, let's say if I'm probing CH2 proton, then the number of protons nearby to me will dictate what my lines will split into. For example, if I'm near to CH proton, so N value is 1 over here because number of neighboring protons are 1. So the line will split into a doublet. So N+1. So line will split into a doublet. If I'm probing CH proton, the line will split into triplet. So 2 plus 1 or N+1 is equal to 3, right? So 2 plus 1 is 3. So there would be 3 lines. So, and then these lines will have certain intensity ratios. So for example, doublet will have 1:1 ratio, triplet will have 1:2:1 ratio, a quartet will have 1:3:3:1 ratio, and so on and so forth. So these kind of patterns also help us analyze molecular structure in great details. Okay, so you will see these details if you opt for master's course in chemistry. You will see NMR spectroscopy in greater details, and there you will learn all of this in more details. I'm just giving you a flavor of basic flavor of what we do in NMR spectroscopy. Okay, so for example, here I have drawn singlet peak. So for isolated methyl protons, it will come as a singlet. If you have a doublet, if you have a nearby CH proton, your signal will split into a doublet, triplet, quartet, and so on and so forth, right? Okay. So now, in addition to all these features, the line width, how broad is the line, that also help you define molecular structure. So size does matter basically in NMR. So what do you mean by size does matter? So this frequency which we talked about, this frequency, and then there is a decaying rate, how fast it is going back to z-axis. All of this depends on how heavy or what is the overall size of the molecule. So this process is called as relaxation. We have not discussed this in more details. This drawing over here is uh, uh, drawn for transverse relaxation process. So now this transverse relaxation process, basically it means that how fast your transverse magnetization, which you created due to radio frequency pulse, dies down in XY plane. Okay, so now how fast this dies down depends on the size. So if you are dealing with a small molecule, your line will be very sharp because your relaxation will be very, very slow. If you are dealing with a very big molecule like a protein or nucleic acid, your relaxation will happen very fast and the line which you will get is very, very broad. So based on the line width of the NMR signal, sharp or broad, what you can do is you can selectively filter out using NMR only. You can selectively filter out big molecules versus small molecule. Let's say if you are dealing with a mixture of small molecule and protein, so you can selectively work with protein signals, or you can selectively work with small molecule signals. It is up to you what question you want to ask, right? So if you want to understand the behavior of small molecules, you can selectively excite and understand small molecule signals. Okay, so this is just to give you another idea that we don't need to actually purify small molecules from big molecules. We can look at them simultaneously and uh, solve for molecular structure. Okay. Now, typically when we are dealing with bigger molecules, we need to also go to higher dimensions. So what is higher dimensions? So instead of moving the frequency or resolving the frequency in one axis, so what we do is we resolve the frequency in multiple axes. So for example, here the spectra is shown as that the frequency is resolved in x-axis as well as in y-axis, and the z-axis is used for intensity. So you can increase the dimensions of the NMR spectrum up to 7 dimensions actually. People have recorded the maximum dimension spectra in 7 dimensions. So you don't need to go into technical jargons. What I'm just trying to tell you that the way you resolved the chemical shift, the way you resolved, for example, here, uh, methyl group is resolved from tertiary butyl group in one axis. So you can also resolve it in one more axis or two more axes based on if you have more number of protons present which are not resolvable in one dimension. So typically for proteins and nucleic acid or higher molecules, you can use a bigger dimension spectrum. Okay. So this is an example given for multidimensional NMR. So for example, this is a correlation spectroscopy, COSY NMR, which basically gives you correlation peaks for two protons which are 3 bond away. Okay, so all such protein, let's say if in a protein molecule you have large number of protons, but you want to look at only those protons which are 3 bond away, which are connected with 3 bond. So for example, this H1 and H2, they are 3 bond away. H2 and H3 are 3 bond away. H3 and H4 are 3 bond away. So what you do is in such a experiment, correlation spectroscopy, you see a cross peak between or correlation peak between H1 and H2. Okay. So similarly, between H2 and H3, you will see a correlation peak. Between H3 and H4, you will see a correlation peak. You don't see any peak between H1 and H3 because it tells you that H1 and H3 are not connected in a 3 bond fashion. Okay, so that helps you determine the molecular structure. Similarly, in a total correlation spectroscopy, so this experiment is called as total correlation spectroscopy. So I'm just giving you a flavor of what are the different types of experiments. There are thousands of different types of experiments that you can perform with same sample. This is just a idea of 4 different samples, which are 4 different experiments that I've shown here. So total correlation spectroscopy, for example, tells you correlation between uh, protons which are connected with 3 bond away in a continuous fashion. For example, H1 to H2, H2 to H3, H3 to H4, they are all 3 bond away. So H1 will keep on correlating with H2 and H3 and H4. So for example, here, if you see, H1 is giving you a correlation peak to H2 as well as H3 as well as H4, right? So again, these are all used in sync, so you can record multiple experiments on same sample to analyze which two protons are connected nearby, which two protons are connected far off, and so on and so forth. Similarly, here HSQC experiment, here all the protons which are connected to carbon via single bond will show you a correlation peak. So this is called as a heteronuclear because two different nuclei are used in correlation. These are called as homonuclear because two same nuclei are used in correlation, right? So this is HSQC spectrum where proton and carbon correlations are observed. So as many number of CH bonds are present in your sample, as many number of peaks you will see in HSQC experiment. So now let us now see that how we can use this type of information to get to study metabolomics, that is to study the small molecules which are present in a given system at a given point of time. So this example will help you identify that the kind of questions you can ask in real world. Okay, so I have tried to cover three different examples. One is related to cells, one is related to tissues, another is related to complete organism. So you can see that the applicability of NMR under in different type of samples is very good. So you can really ask very good questions. And related to COVID, for example, we actually are carrying out study related to COVID as of now in the lab. So I just give you few examples here. So overview of metabolomic studies. So first of all, we need to do data collection, followed by data processing, data analysis, and data interpretation, right? So this is true with any study. So data collection is a step where you have to first prepare the sample. Now, what is the sample which can be used in metabolomic study? So sample can vary from blood sample, serum, plasma, urine sample, any kind of plant tissue, any kind of cell lines which you can take, any kind of human fluid or human body parts, any kind of tissues can be taken from mice. So these are all under controlled environment. You can take different samples. For example, I can take samples of diabetic patient, blood samples of diabetic patients and non-diabetic patients and compare their metabolome, right? We have actually done that. So you can take samples from different body fluids under, let's say, if you are trying to follow a particular diet. So you want to see the effect of that diet on a particular population. So you can follow serum samples and urine samples as a effect of that diet, right? So like people are also studying effect of yoga on metabolome. So you can take a set of people who are doing yoga, and before yoga you can take their sample, and after doing yoga you can take their sample and look at the metabolome, how the metabolome is changing. So once you have collected the sample in a systematic manner. So you have to ask the question very carefully and prepare the sample or collect the sample very carefully, because the metabolome is highly dynamic. So it really depends how you collect the sample, at what point in time you collect the sample. So once the sample is collected, you can extract the metabolite using methanol extraction or chloroform extraction, and there are multiple protocols of doing that. So basically, these are all small molecules which can be extracted based on what solvent they are dissolved into. You can also extract them by water and so on and so forth, right? Once the metabolites are extracted, you subject it to NMR spectroscopy and analyze the spectrum. Okay. For example, here, this is the black tea sample extracted into aqueous phase as well as organic phase simultaneously. So this is the sample which is put into NMR tube. And at the same time, without having to separate it out, you can actually record the aqueous phase NMR and organic phase NMR and look at what all peaks are present corresponding to what all metabolites, and you can have a sense of all the small molecule mixtures present in black tea. Okay, this is just one example. So the first job, what is the first thing you have to do? So once you have recorded such a spectrum, what you will see is you will see some 200 to 300 peaks present, which corresponds to roughly 50 to 70 metabolites present in your sample. So for example, if you are taken a sweat sample, you will see around 200 peaks like this. Okay. So now each peak, you have to really zoom into each peak and see that whether a peak is singlet, doublet, triplet, quartet, what is the chemical shift of that peak, what is the multiplicity, what is the line shape and coupling constants, uh, how does it compare with the database chemical shift values. So all of this information is taken together using a software called Genomics, and you can find out which peak belongs to what. So this particular process is called as resonance assignment. So which peak belongs to, whether it belongs to glucose, whether it belongs to fructose, whether it belongs to sucrose, whether it belongs to valine amino acid or alanine, and so on and so forth. So you can actually identify all sorts of amino acids or sugars, TCA cycle intermediates, and so on and so forth. Okay. So once you have identified that, this process is called as resonance assignment. Then you have to find out the concentration of different metabolites. So The lowest concentration that we have detected in our lab is 1 micromolar. So you can detect as low as, people have gone to lower limits also using more high throughput techniques. Uh, 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 so you can uh, get the absolute concentration of metabolites present in different samples. So once you know that there is a absolute concentration, you can compare these absolute concentrations in different stress studies, right? So for example, diabetic versus non-diabetic samples, other than glucose, what all metabolites are being perturbed, for example. Okay. So this process is called as quantification. So once you have done quantification, you can make tables of different metabolites, that, okay, these are the set of metabolites which are different in these two samples. And that's how the sample is, or the metabolome is changing. Okay. Now, uh, once you have made the tables, the comparison of different data sets is not so easy, because there are multiple changes involved. There are multiple samples for statistical averaging. There are multiple peaks which show different differences in concentration. So what you have to do is, you have to take the help of statistics to compare different data. Okay. So for example, I have listed down a few statistical techniques that we use in our lab. There are univariate techniques, multivariate techniques, and so on and so forth. Okay. So you can you have to take help of statistics here to make sense out of data, because the data is very, very huge. So this is an example of study which we had undertaken and published recently, which is the metabolomic signatures associated with high glucose and high lipid in pancreatic beta cells. So just to give you a brief idea, pancreatic beta cells are the cells which produce insulin upon glucose response. If you have high glucose in the body, so pancreatic beta cells will start producing more insulin. So what we did, we took out these pancreatic beta cells from rat, and we subjected them to high glucose, high lipid, and high glucose plus high lipid stress. Okay. And then we tried to see that what are the metabolites which are changing in those cells as a function of glucose and lipid concentration, high glucose and high lipid concentration. So the first thing first was to first know what these peaks belong to. So we had roughly around 48 metabolites present in INSWANI beta cells. So we identified all those peaks and analyzed that, okay, this peak belongs to malate, this peak belongs to citrate, this peak belongs to succinate, and so on and so forth. So we analyzed 48 metabolites, and after analyzing, we found out the concentration of different metabolites in different stress conditions. So here are the different stress conditions. For example, a basal glucose condition, which is the normal glucose condition cells would grow in. Then we provided cells with high lipid concentration. This is PA condition, for example. Then high glucose, then high glucose plus high lipid. Okay. So in all these cases, we could see that the profile of the sample once, so this is after you do statistical analysis, one dot basically represents the one entire spectrum over here. Okay. So this dot is different from this dot, and all the dots which are of similar sample, they are grouped together. Okay. So that's how statistics compare different cells or different type of samples, one sample from other sample. So in this case, we actually clearly saw that the glucose sample is very different, significantly different from high lipid sample, and it is significantly different from high lipid and high glucose sample. Okay. And then we can also list down all the metabolites which are causing these differences. For example, lactate was very significantly different these samples. Glutamate was also very different. Orthophosphocholene was different, and so on and so forth. Okay. So here, for example, in the plot, absolute concentrations are plotted of different metabolites under different stress conditions. So these are the stress conditions listed in the color code over here. And you can see that the lactate is very high in high glucose condition as compared to basal glucose condition. So not just glucose, which we already know that the glucose would be affected in diabetic samples. Here we could see that a lot of other metabolites were also different, which we can now take as a potential biomarker to analyze that, okay, this can also be used as a uh, potential biomarker to identify whether it's a glucotoxic condition or a lipotoxic condition, and so on and so forth. Okay, so uh, s- so for example, when we did pairwise analysis of glucose versus high glucose uh, uh, versus basal glucose, high lipid versus basal lipid, and so on and so forth. So we found that the ratio of orthophosphocholin to UDP and acetylglucosamine is significantly different in glucolipotoxic condition than lipotoxic condition than glucotoxic condition. Okay, so you can use these controls or use these kind of numbers to identify whether you are having glucotoxic stress or lipotoxic stress. So whether you are having high lipid in your body by just measuring a simple one proton NMR spectrum. Okay, and then you can also analyze different metabolites on the pathways, that what are all the pathways, metabolic pathways, that are being affected under different stress conditions. For example, in high glucose condition, what are the metabolites which are affected are shown with red arrows. So you can also map out all the metabolic pathways, how these are affected. Okay, now similarly, this is an example of study of tissues directly instead of cells. So in this case, we took an example of potato tubers. So this, I'm just taking a variety of examples so that you know that what kind of questions we can ask using NMR spectroscopy. So here we undertook a study where we looked at the effect of cold storage on potatoes. So cold storage of potatoes is done to avoid losses due to shrinkage and to maintain its availability around the year. But cold storage is also known to cause cold induced sweetening. So we wanted to study that what are the metabolites or metabolic pathways which are affected uh, upon cold storage. So for that, what we did, so we took three replicates of potato tubers, and we put them in cold stored 4 degrees Celsius for a month, and for half of it we harvested freshly, and then we extracted metabolites from both the samples and subjected it to NMR. Now the process is same again. You carry out the resonance assignment followed by the concentration determinant or the quantification of metabolites, followed by statistical analysis. And then you get to know that what are the metabolites. So for example, you see that the sugar samples are sugars are increased. For example, glucose, fructose, sucrose are all increased. But in addition to that, there are certain uh, amino acids that were also different. Okay, for example, citrate, malate, proline, aminobutyrate. So amino acids and some organic acids are also different in different stress conditions. In this case, the stress is cold storage. Okay. Now, if you see that we have also taken complete organism. So in this case, the organism taken was Mycobacterium smegmatis. So this Mycobacterium smegmatis is a model organism for understanding tuberculosis. So instead of taking actual tuberculosis causing bacteria, mycobacteria. So what we did, we took Mycobacterium smegmatis, which has a very similar genetic signature of MTB. Okay, so the advantage is that this one grows very quickly as compared to MTB. So what we wanted to understand that this Mycobacterium smegmatis or the Mycobacterium tuberculosis actually can live in our lungs for years without causing any infection. So if you test for latent infection of MTB, 90% of Indian population would be positive. So we wanted to study that what kind of stress, let's say if there is a acidic stress in our lungs or oxidative stress or nutrient stress, how do these molecules or how do these organisms actually survive in all these stresses? So we subjective M. smegmatis to acidic, oxidative and nutrient starvation, and we actually saw that in all these starvation conditions, all these stress conditions, the metabolome was completely different. In fact, there were metabolic pathways which we could identify that there were some alternate metabolic pathways the bacteria was adopting, which were not going on in a regular process. Okay, so we could identify some biosynthetic regulation pathways also using our metabolomic study. So in addition to this, you can also study solid samples, for example, you can do bone NMR. So if you have bone samples of some patient using coming out as a surgery, so you can put them in solid state sample. So solid state, this is a solid state sample holder which is shown in against Canadian currency, just to give you a high idea that how big sample tubes are or how small the sample tubes are. So you can actually analyze all these metabolites present in solid, any kind of solid state powder. So you don't need to necessarily have a liquid sample. You can also work with solid sample. You can also carry out the live tissue imaging under magnetic resonance imaging scanners. So you must have all seen this uh, MRIs systems. So this is nothing but the NMR done for small molecules only. So in case of regular magnetic resonance imaging, what we do is we look at water samples signature or some other labeled molecule which are present inside. Okay, so you can do various type of such studies and ask different kind of questions. So for example, now in our study, in COVID related study, what we have done is we are trying to ask how the metabolome of COVID patients versus non-COVID patients in comorbidity, whether if you are having a comorbidity, as in if you are having a diabetes or blood pressure, high blood pressure, so how the metabolomes of regular normal patient, normal COVID patient versus comorbid patient are different. So all these studies will help us identify. So I'm not shown the data, but you can understand that it's so the data is simple. So you have the blood samples of these patients, and then you carry out metabolite extraction in a very secure way, because these are highly infectious samples. And once you have identified the once you have carried out the metabolite extraction, you subject it to NMR and then carry out the metabolome analysis to identify the differences between regular COVID patient and comorbidity or having multiple diseases COVID patients. Okay, so these are the current lab members who are contributing to these results, and then list of collaborators who have helped in different projects. And this is the lab funding, and this is NMR lab at IISER Pune. So we have 600 megahertz machine over here, which I've shown you earlier. Then this is the 500 megahertz machine and two 400 megahertz machine, and there's some blank space to get more machines if government gives more money. And thank you, and you can ask questions right now, or we can also discuss uh, how to work in ICER, or how to work contribute in active research before you start asking questions. Let me know.
Anybody wants to ask any question with sir? Kindly ask. Sir, I just wanted to ask one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you have shown so many things regarding me. I just wanted to know stress related with COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
How we can detect this is the stress which is playing part as far as COVID-19 is concerned.
So you
The
mean the
stressed person are more, yes.
mental stress, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. So as I said, that there are some studies people have. So not our lab, but there are some labs in India as well as abroad. People are studying the effect of yoga. For example, if you're how calm you're sitting, and so you collect your blood sample before and after that. So let's say if you go for 10 days of yoga workshop and you give your sample before and after that, so that will tell you how the diet over those 10 periods and the effect of yoga on those during those 10 periods has affected your metabolome. Okay, so those signatures, metabolic pathways can be analyzed. Similarly, effect of stress. See, COVID already has a lot of stress, so isolating mental stress from the actual physiological stress would be different, because COVID itself is causing so many issues, right? So But yes, I mean, you have to have proper controls and design a study according to that. But I would say it is not so easy to identify just mental stress, effect of just mental stress. Of course, you can do it on a normal patient. Let's say if somebody is undergoing a mental stress, you can uh, take its sample along the a different as a function of time, and look at how the metabolome is changing. But it's not so easy because there are so many factors that would affect your metabolome.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Anybody else? Yes, Ompal, ask. Gaurav, Ompal has raised his hand. Kindly unmute him.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Paul.
सर आपका बहुत अच्छा लेक्चर था फॉर द पर्पज एज अ रिसर्च बट नाउ आस्किंग द वन क्वेश्चन.
Yes.
आपने सर एक स्लाइड दिखाई थी 11 स्लाइड. तो सर वहां पे ना आपने जो है ना इंटेंसिटी, एक तो वहां पे आपने सोलवेंट पूछना था मैंने कि यू टेक विच सोलवेंट. जो आपने एनएमआर का डाटा पीक दिखाया था आपने किस सोलवेंट में सर इसको यूज किया था. फिर नाउ आस्किंग द सोलवेंट इफेक्ट इन द प्रोटॉन्स.
So yes. You want to ask the solvent effect. So effect of solvents. So solvents do affect the NMR spectrum. So you can take standard solvents like methanol or chloroform or water, whichever solvent is like the you have to test the sample solubility first and
yes,
see
yes. Ek minute, sir. Yes.
In which solvent the sample is soluble. And but the solvents are known to cause effect on chemical shifts, so that is known. So you can take appropriate solvent, and when you report the data, so you have to also report the solvent along with that. Okay, so you can say that this particular data is recorded in that particular solvent, so people know that okay, we are talking about a polar solvent or apolar solvent or protic solvent or aprotic solvent, and so on and so forth. So that particular data, I think, was recorded in deuterated chloroform.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर. सर नेक्स्ट ना मैंने एक और क्वेश्चन आपसे क्वेरी लेनी थी.
Yes.
जो सर हमारी जो है पीक की जो बेस विड्थ होती है और जो इंटेंसिटी होती है सर, इसका कोई रेशो होता है क्या सर?
So let me show you.
सर.
Yeah, I understand your question.
सर जो मेरी कोई पीक है उसकी सर इंटेंस जो नाउ सी.
Can you see the screen?
हाँ जी सर, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रही है सर. जो
Yes.
इसकी इंटेंसिटी है सर, सपोज करो नाउ वी टेक ट्रिपलेट एंड डबलेट.
Yes.
तो सर उनमें इंटेंसिटी कैसे एक्सप्लेन करूंगा मैं सर?
So इसमें generally we don't measure the intensity. What we measure is the integration of the peak. So what is integration? Integration is the peak area under the peak. So you can see that the area which is under this peak from here to here and here. So as the intensity of the peak goes down, the area of the peak remains same. So the peak width will increase and the intensity will go down. So we don't normally work with intensity. What we do is we work with integration of the peak. So integration of the peak remains constant. Integration of the peak is proportional to number of protons of that corresponding type. Okay. So what we do is we work with integration and not intensity. So intensity, let's say if the peak is like this, the intensity will be certain of certain height. If the intensity goes down, the peak width will increase so that the area remains constant. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Anybody wants to any questions? Sir, your lecture was so wonderful. You explained wonderfully each and everything in a very good manner. Even some topic like skin spin coupling and chemical shift. At the time of our undergraduation and at the time of our medical examinations and all that, because it looks very difficult. So that time we will got these kind of information, then it was very easy to solve each and every problems. So I think our undergraduate students were definitely enjoy it. Even they know the technicalities of even crack their competitive examination with the help of these kind of topics. Your lecture cover all the area, even COVID-19 and as well as undergrad studies and as well as competitive persons. All the three persons you have solved simultaneously here in one lecture. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Any more doubts, anyone? I saw one more raised hand, but then again it went off. Okay. So if there are no more doubts, let me pull out the ICER website. So ICER has different entry programs. For example, the first entry is at after 12th class, which is a BSMS 5-year BSMS course, which you're already, I mean, you're already doing BSc, so that is not of use to you. So after your BSc, there is a program called Integrated PhD program shown over here. So if you go to admissions page, there are different programs which are linked. So integrated PhD program is a regular MS plus PhD. So after BSc, you can opt for MS plus PhD. So in which you have 1 year of coursework and followed by 6 years of thesis work. So you will spend roughly 6 to 7 years completing your MS plus PhD in a particular field. The advantage is that you get to hear from active researchers, and you get to see what you are going to do before you actually start. So while you're doing the coursework, you can visit different labs, and you can find a lab of your interest and start working there. Okay. In addition to this integrated PhD program, there is also a PhD program which happens after MSc. So for each of these programs, the eligibility conditions are listed in this. So you can look at all the eligibility conditions if you are interested. And uh, right now, I think the integrated PhD program is also open, as well as PhD program is also open. So you can see if you want to put in application. There are lots of DU students that do come to our institute. I have one student in my lab from Delhi University, and there are lots of students in ICER Pune, and there are other ICERs also. There are 7 ICERs overall. So you can look at different. So for example, if I go to BSMS admissions page. So there is one in Behrampur, Bhopal, Kolkata, Mohali, Pune, Trivandrum, and Tirupati. So you can look at all these websites and how to take admissions. So in addition to this, if you want to do short-term projects, there is also a possibility of doing summer internships. So as of now, the summer internships are on hold because of COVID situations. So no external students are being allowed as of now. In fact, our own BSMS students are also not on campus. So uh, but in regular days, you can apply for summer internships, again going to these let me go to, so there is a outreach uh, tab over here. So if you see, there is a COSME program. So here you see there are different programs listed. So you can visit schools. There are science camps for students, which can be for school students as well as college students. Hands-on science activity centers are there. Then as of now, it is not listed, but there is a summer program which will also be listed when it is open. So summer internships are there for 2 to 3 months, which you can come and contribute to active research which is going on in lab, and also learn advanced research techniques. So you can apply to different schemes over here, where ICER would provide you with accommodation, but there is no fellowship, I think, in these programs. Uh, so you can come over here and work and learn. So if you apply for fellowships, if you want to apply for fellowships, there is also a program by Indian Academy of Sciences. So if you apply via Indian Academy of Sciences, you can again come back to same summer internship program, but with a fellowship. Okay. So I think there is some 5,000 per month fellowship is there, along with free stay and work experience at ICER Pune, at different ICERs, all the ICERs actually. Okay. So there is also this Indian Academy of Sciences program which you want to look at. So if you have any questions, please do let me know. Feel free if you have any questions. Okay. So if there are no questions, then we can stop at this point.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
you have given all the information. Sir, if it's possible, then you can share this link in chat section so a
Okay.
student can use this link for their future
Sure. I will just share it.
prospects.
Yeah, I've shared the link.
Now, student, here is the link to whatever problem, whatever solution. If you want to talk to sir, phone number and everything of the institute is available over there. You can contact him time to time and just, yes,
I'll
Sakshi,
also
you want
list
to
down
any?
the summer research fellowship program of Indian Academy of Sciences. That link is also I'm sharing.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, Deepmala. Deepmala, are you there?
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah. Now you can start your session.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. First of all, I welcome to all of you. As today's session here we were listening to Professor Jitendra Chok, and we have he have given a very valuable information about the NMR spectroscopy, and I think it will be very useful for all of us in not only in graduation program, also in MSc and PhD programs. So first, I thank to Abja ma'am to invite the Pankaj Jitendra sir as a guest, chief guest. And now we move towards our program. Today is the ChemTalk competition, and all of you know with this competition that this is the poem and poetry related competition, and we got we got so many entries for this competition, and the students have a very good efforts to write and reciting these poems. So I'm here with you with some best performances of our participants, and I'm presenting some performances of our students. So first, I would like to invite Sakshi Mishra from BSc third year Physical Science. So Gaurav sir, allow Sakshi Mishra.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am. कर दिया.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes. Sakshi, say a few words about your performance.
Good afternoon to respected teachers and all my dear friends. I am Sakshi Mishra from BSc Physical Science, Chemistry, Section A student, from 6th semester. First of all, I'm very thankful to Agja ma'am for inviting sir for his wonderful lecture. Ma'am, I'm very amazed with the spectroscopy. It is from I'm studying it from my previous semester, and it is very new and amazing for myself. एंड मैम आज जो सर ने बताया कि हम कैसे स्ट्रेस का डिफरेंस देख सकते हैं, किस पर्सन में है किस पर्सन में नहीं है, योगा का इफेक्ट देख सकते हैं स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी के थ्रू. सो मैम इट वाज लाइक कि हाँ इसमें रिसर्च आपने पहले ही बताया कि हम केमिस्ट्री में बहुत रिसर्च कर सकते हैं, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा ये. एंड मैम कल आपने बताया था कि हमारी लाइफ में हर और केमिस्ट्री है. सो इट इज वेरी मच ट्रू. फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग टूथपेस्ट टू टी एंड शुगर, सोप, डिटर्जेंट, ब्रेकफास्ट, ऑक्सीजन एवरीवेयर. We have 24/7 reaction occurring in our body, the environment, the signaling in our body, the blood clotting, everywhere. हम एक सांस लेते हैं एंड उतने में हमारा जो आयरन होता है वो ऑक्सीजन के साथ बाइंड करके पूरी बॉडी में सर्कुलेशन कंप्लीट कर लेता है. सो केमिस्ट्री सो माइन्यूट एंड रिएक्शंस आर अकरिंग एवरीवेयर. हम कभी मतलब पहले जब छठी क्लास में एडमिशन हुआ था तो केमिस्ट्री सिर्फ ये लगती थी कि हाँ रस्टिंग ऑफ आयरन इज केमिस्ट्री, एसिड बेस इज केमिस्ट्री, लिटमस पेपर का कलर चेंज होना इज केमिस्ट्री. थोड़ा और बड़े हुए तो पता चला कि अच्छा इलेक्ट्रॉन की डिस्कवरी इज केमिस्ट्री, थॉमसन सर की पुडिंग से हमें जो इलेक्ट्रॉन मिला दैट इज केमिस्ट्री. बट धीरे धीरे ग्रेजुएशन में आने के बाद और रास्ते खुलते गए और समझ में आता गया केमिस्ट्री इज नॉट ओनली लिमिटेड टू अ बुक, केमिस्ट्री इज वी आर सेइंग एवरीवेयर। एंड कोविड के क्रूशियल टाइम में सभी की जो नजरें हैं वो हमारे केमिस्ट पर ही हैं कि कोई तो ऐसी मेडिसिन मिल जाए, कोई तो ऐसी वैक्सीन हमारे केमिस्ट खोजे जो हम सबकी जान बचाएं। सो being in the branch of chemistry, I'm in the family, say very proudly that I am the student of chemistry. And पहले मुझे केमिस्ट्री बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं लगती थी, बट आफ्टर स्टडिंग वेरी मच एंड विद द सपोर्ट ऑफ कॉलेज टीचर्स मुझे केमिस्ट्री में बहुत अच्छा इंटरेस्ट होने लगा है। एंड स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी जो अभी हमने नया लास्ट सेमेस्टर से शुरू किया है, उसके बाद आज जो सर ने रिसर्च वगैरह के पर्पस बताए, सो केमिस्ट्री अब अच्छी लगने लगी है। एंड मैंने अपनी छोटी सी पोयम लिखी है केमिस्ट्री पे कि कैसे केमिस्ट्री जो मुझे बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं लगती थी उससे धीरे धीरे केमिस्ट्री से प्यार होने लगा, अच्छी लगने लगी। एंड कैसे कोविड के टाइम में सबकी नजरें जो है हमारे केमिस्ट पर हैं, हमारे डॉक्टर्स पर हैं। सो हम कैसे उसमें मेहनत कर रहे हैं। सो होप सो आप सब एंजॉय करेंगे। कोई गलती हो तो प्लीज माफ करिएगा। थैंक यू मैम।
Hello, thank you, Sakshi. Now I am playing the video of Sakshi.
Good morning, respected principals, sir, teachers, and my dear friends. I am Sakshi Mishra, BSc Physical Science with Chemistry student, and I am here going to express my poem कहानी केमिस्ट्री की. Hope you all enjoy it. बात है छठी की, बात है छठी की, my 6th class. रस्टिंग ऑफ आयरन से शुरुआत हुई थी, मेटल नॉन मेटल से बात बढ़ी थी, मेटल नॉन मेटल से बात बढ़ी थी, एसिड बेस से मैं बहुत डरी थी. विच वन इज कंसंट्रेटेड, विच वन इज डाइल्यूट, केमिस्ट्री क्यों है इतनी माइन्यूट. सर थॉमसन की खीर से इलेक्ट्रॉन ने जन्म पाया, न्यूट्रॉन प्रोटॉन के लिए साइंटिस्ट ने क्या क्या नहीं आजमाया. वैलेंसी वैकेंसी ने बिगाड़ दी दिमाग की कन्फिग्यूरेशन, सॉलिड्स के वॉइड से अच्छी है, सॉलिड के वॉइड से अच्छी है मेडिटेशन. आखिर ऑर्गेनिक में किसके इलेक्ट्रॉन कौन कहाँ किधर ले जाता, ऑर्गेनिक में किसके इलेक्ट्रॉन कौन कहाँ किधर ले जाता है, ट्रांजिशन एलिमेंट्स में इतने रंग कौन मिलाता है. इक्विलिब्रियम का बफर कर देता था सफर, इक्विलिब्रियम का बफर कर देता था सफर. थर्मोडायनेमिक की आइसोथर्मल एडियाबैटिक मेक मी सिक. के ए के बी के सी कप्पा, के ए के बी के सी कप्पा कर देते थे दिमाग का गुल डब्बा. आखिर इन परेशानियों संग प्यार हुआ, पूरी हुई दुआ. केमिस्ट्री संग दोस्ती हुई, मैक्सवेल लॉ फेराडे लॉ संग मौज मस्ती हुई. देन कैम की मॉडल एक्ट्रेस स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी भी आई, कैम की मॉडल एक्ट्रेस स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी भी, यूवी विजिबल आईआर एनएमआर को भी संग लाई. मैम ने ब्लड में आयरन का रोल समझाया, बिना कैल्शियम क्लॉटिंग नहीं ये भी बताया, बिना कैल्शियम क्लॉटिंग नहीं ये भी बताया. सोडियम पोटेशियम बिन सिग्नलिंग नहीं, हर एक एलिमेंट की कहानी ही अलग, कहानी ही नहीं, कैसे होगा ये सब, हे राम हे भगवान. बट देन कोविड आ गया, देन कोविड आ गया, सब और अंधेरा छा गया. बाहर पूरे वर्ल्ड की नज़रें केमिस्ट पर टिक गई, बाहर पूरे वर्ल्ड की नज़रें केमिस्ट पर टिक गई. वैक्सीन या मेडिसिन कुछ तो करे सही, ना जाने कितनों की जान केमिस्ट मेडिसिन ने बचाई. तब जाके केमिस्ट्री के सॉल्ट सोल्यूशन की वैल्यू समझ आई. बट वैक्सीन आई, आशा की किरणें लाई, बट उस आरएनए वाले ने म्यूटेशन शुरू कर दी, आरएनए वाले ने म्यूटेशन कर ली, एंड फिर नए स्ट्रेन ने डिस्ट्रक्शन शुरू कर दी. बट हमारे साइंटिस्ट ने, हमारे केमिस्ट ने हार नहीं है मानी. वी विल डू योर रिडक्शन कोरोना, हमने है ठानी. सो स्टे सेफ. जय हिंद. वियर द मास्क, मेंटेन सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग. थैंक यू.
दीपमाला.
Thank you, Sakshi. Thank you,
दीपमाला,
Sakshi, for your such.
दीपमाला आपके
Hello.
नेटवर्क में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, तो थोड़ा और मजा आता कि इस वीडियो को ऐसा करो, आप गौरव को शेयर कर दो. तो ये आपके नेटवर्क की वजह से इसका शेक कर रहा था. हाँ, गौरव को शेयर कर दो एक बार.
I have shared to Ajay.
ये किसने डिस्प्ले किया है? अजय. अजय जरा इसको डिस्प्ले करो.
ओके मैम.
फिर से करो इसको.
ओके मैम.
बहुत ही बढ़िया था.
दीपमाला मैम आप बंद कर दो.
हाँ, आप एक बार बंद कर दो. प्रॉब्लम है क्या अजय?
No, no, I'm just doing.
दीपमाला, आपका उसमें नेटवर्क में दिखा रहा है लो। तो मुझे जितना मजा आना चाहिए था बहुत ज्यादा आ रहा था, तो मुझे लगा मुझे एक बार इसको और दिखना है, देन आई विल बी सेटिस्फाइड, बिकॉज आई एम बाय हार्ट आई एम ए पोएट।
Okay, shall I start?
श्योर श्योर।
Is it okay?
नहीं, अभी आ नहीं रहा है। आप लोग को दिख रहा है नीरजा?
नो मैम। अजय सर?
मैम नॉट विजिबल।
अजय सर?
अजय दोबारा
प्ले कर दीजिए बाहर, उसको पॉज कर देंगे, फिर शेयर करिएगा, फिर सब दिखेगा।
हाँ वो तो मैं कर रहा हूँ। ये है कि योर स्क्रीन शेयरिंग इज पॉज्ड।
योर स्क्रीन शेयरिंग डिफॉल्ट?
नहीं,
पॉज
पॉज
पॉज।
पॉज, ओके। हाँ तो सर आपकी तरफ से पॉज है सर, आप प्ले कर दीजिए। हाँ जी, yes,
Respected principals or teachers and good morning, respected principals or teachers and my dear friends. I am Sakshi Mishra, BSc Physical Science with Chemistry student, and I am here going to express my poem कहानी chemistry की. Hope you all enjoy it. बात है छठी की, my 6th class. Rusting of iron से शुरुआत हुई थी, मेटल नॉन मेटल से बात बढ़ी थी, मेटल नॉन मेटल से बात बढ़ी थी, एसिड बेस से मैं बहुत डरी थी. विच वन इज कंसंट्रेटेड, विच वन इज डाइल्यूट, केमिस्ट्री क्यों है इतनी मान्यूट. सर थॉमसन की खीर से इलेक्ट्रॉन ने जन्म पाया, न्यूट्रॉन प्रोटॉन के लिए साइंटिस्ट ने क्या क्या नहीं आजमाया. वैलेंसी वैकेंसी ने बिगाड़ दी दिमाग की कन्फिग्यूरेशन, सॉलिड्स के वॉइड से अच्छी है, सॉलिड के वॉइड से अच्छी है मेडिटेशन. आखिर ऑर्गेनिक में किसके इलेक्ट्रॉन कौन कहाँ किधर ले जाता, ऑर्गेनिक में किसके इलेक्ट्रॉन कौन कहाँ किधर ले जाता है, ट्रांजिशन एलिमेंट्स में इतने रंग कौन मिलाता है. इक्विलिब्रियम का बफर कर देता था सफर, इक्विलिब्रियम का बफर कर देता था सफर. थर्मोडायनेमिक की आइसोथर्मल एडियाबैटिक मेक मी सिक. के ए के बी के सी कप्पा, के ए के बी के सी कप्पा कर देते थे दिमाग का गुल टब्बा. आखिर इन परेशानियों संग प्यार हुआ, पूरी हुई दुआ. केमिस्ट्री संग दोस्ती हुई, मैक्सवेल लॉ फेराडे लॉ संग मौज मस्ती हुई. देन कैम की मॉडल एक्ट्रेस स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी भी आई, कैम की मॉडल एक्ट्रेस स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी भी यू विजिबल IR NMR को भी संग लाई. मैम ने ब्लड में आयरन का रोल समझाया, बिना कैल्शियम क्लॉटिंग नहीं ये भी बताया, बिना कैल्शियम क्लॉटिंग नहीं ये भी बताया. सोडियम पोटेशियम बिन सिग्नलिंग नहीं, हर एक एलिमेंट की कहानी ही अलग, कहानी ही नहीं, कैसे होगा ये सब, हे राम हे भगवान. बट देन कोविड आ गया, सब और अंधेरा छा गया. बाहर पूरे वर्ल्ड की नज़रें केमिस्ट पर टिक गई, बाहर पूरे वर्ल्ड की नज़रें केमिस्ट पर टिक गई. वैक्सीन या मेडिसिन कुछ तो करे सही, न जाने कितनों की जान केमिस्ट मेडिसिन ने बचाई. तब जाके केमिस्ट्री के सॉल्ट सॉल्यूशन की वैल्यू समझ आई. बट वैक्सीन आई, आशा की किरणें लाई, बट उस आरएनए वाले ने म्यूटेशन शुरू कर दी, आरएनए वाले ने म्यूटेशन कर ली, एंड फिर नए स्ट्रेन ने डिस्ट्रक्शन शुरू कर दी. बट हमारे साइंटिस्ट ने, हमारे केमिस्ट ने हार नहीं है मानी. वी विल डू योर रिडक्शन कोरोना हमने है ठानी. सो स्टे सेफ. जय हिंद. वियर द मास्क, मेंटेन सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग. थैंक यू.
Wonderful. I am definitely going to share from my Facebook account to this. This is my copyright, eh? Wonderful. It's your copyright. I must proudly say that you are my student.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful. I must say what kind of body language you have shown. Really, very good. Deepmala, second.
Hello. Thank you, Sakshi, for such a nice performance. And now, ma'am, our second participant is Mohan Mangalam from BSc Honors, second semester. Mohan, please open your video. Sir, allow to Mohan. Ma'am, I am attending this meeting by mobile. So Ajay will play the videos. Hello,
Ajay, play the video.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I am Mohan Mangalam Saraswat from BSc Chemistry Honors first year. Today, the poem you are going to watch is is about chemistry. A student, what student thinks about what is chemistry. Sometimes we get frustrated of learning facts of inorganic chemistry, and organic chemistry is like a spider web. The more you go deep, the more you lost. And if we try physical numericals, and if we know the concept very well, and if we forget how to find log and anti-log, it makes us angry. And but if we see, chemistry is found in majority of aspects like medicines and vaccines, and it is very useful. So please, ma'am, play my video.
Thank you, Mohan. Ajay, please play video too.
Yes, ma'am.
Respected principal, teachers, and my dear friends, I am Mohan Mangalam Saraswat from BSc Chemistry Honors first year. Today I am going to express my feelings through my poem on chemistry. I hope you will enjoy it. एंटोइने लेवोइजर ने केमिस्ट्री को बनाया ऑर्गेनिक फिजिकल एंड इनऑर्गेनिक ने हमको सताया ऑर्गेनिक के फंडे तो फिर भी समझ आते इनऑर्गेनिक के एक्सेप्शंस पत्ती गुल कर जाते फिजिकल के न्यूमेरिकल्स जब भी करने जाते लॉग एंटी लॉग बैंग बैंग मचाते रदरफोर्ड ने अपना एटॉमिक मॉडल दिया समझ में आया तो बोहर ने इम्प्रोवाइज कर दिया मैंडलीव्स ने periodic टेबल बनाया बट अभी तक सारे एलिमेंट्स कोई नहीं ढूंढ पाया ऑर्गेनिक की रिएक्शंस देखने में अच्छी लगती पर करने बैठो तो अच्छे के पसीने छुड़ा देती कोरोना की महामारी ने हमको डराया केमिस्ट्री ने वैक्सीन से सुकून दिलाया जैसी भी हो केमिस्ट्री हर बीमारी से हमको छुड़ाती यही बात इसकी दिल में घर कर जाती थैंक यू
Wonderful, Mohan Mangalam, wonderful. Next.
Thank you, Mohan.
आपके चेहरे पे हंसी आ रही है, that's a beautiful thing. Otherwise, chemistry में नींद आती है, हंसी नहीं आती.
I think, ma'am, by this poem, Mohan Mangalam is trying to giving a message to us that when the students are facing some problems, then when we teach the chemistry and what kind of problems are facing they, like in numericals, in physical, and in basics in inorganic chemistry. So I promise Mohan on the behalf of our teachers that we will try our best to solve your problems in future. And now our third participant is Akash from BSc Honors first year. Sir, allow to Akash.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Akash.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. I am Akash Saxena and I am from BSc Chemistry Honors first semester. Today, I am here to represent my poem on the topic of chemistry, as we all know that we are gathered here for the festival of Rasainika. In this poem, I have tried to express what chemistry means from a student point of view, like how it feels like being in a roller coaster while studying chemistry, how some parts are some on an easier side and some on the tougher side, and how we need to mug up some inorganic exceptions and formulas for physical and some reactions for organic chemistry. But on the same time, we cannot neglect the advantages that chemistry has provided to us, whether it's in our cooking and the hottest topic of the hour, that is the COVID vaccines, COVID sanitizers, wherever we go, we will find chemistry. And I hope I have tried to put all this in a nutshell and try to present in front of you all. And I hope you will all enjoy the video and the poem as well. That's it from my side. Thank you so much.
Hello respected judges, I am Akash Saxena and I am from BSc Chemistry on the second semester, and I am here to represent my poem on the subject of chemistry. In this poem, I'll be telling you my experiences, what I have learned from this subject in my life so far. The title of my poem is Chemistry, a Biography. आओ सुनाऊं तुम्हें कहानी उस सब्जेक्ट की जिससे कोई ना अनजान है, प्यार से जिसे हम बोलते रसायन विज्ञान, अंग्रेजी में जिसको हम बोलते हैं केमिस्ट्री, अंग्रेजी में जिसको हम बोलते हैं केमिस्ट्री, जो किसी के लिए है छोटी, किसी के लिए बड़ी केमिस्ट्री। एटम्स, मॉलिक्यूल से लेकर सॉल्ट हाइड्रोलिसिस तक सब इसने सिखाया है। सिल्वर मिरर हो या फिर ब्राउन रिंग टेस्ट, सब इसने दिखाया है। क्रिम्सन रेड और एप्पल ग्रीन, न जाने कितने अतरंगी रंगों की क्या बात है। एप्पल ग्रीन और क्रिम्सन रेड जैसे न जाने अतरंगी रंगों की क्या बात है। फिजिकल, ऑर्गेनिक और इनऑर्गेनिक, इन्हीं की तो सौगात है। मोल कंसेप्ट्स में तो बन जाती है बात, मोल कंसेप्ट्स में तो बन जाती है बात, मगर थर्मोडायनेमिक्स और गैसियस स्टेट्स पढ़ते हुए करती है रात। अब गैसियस स्टेट्स आगे तो सॉलिड और लिक्विड भी कहाँ पीछे है। एक तरफ है ब्रेवियस लैटिसेस तो दूसरी तरफ कॉलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टीज अपनी तरफ खींचे हैं। कार्बन और हाइड्रोजन का रिश्ता सारा जग जानता है, कार्बन और हाइड्रोजन का रिश्ता सारा जग जानता है। ऑर्गेनिक के आते ही कार्बन हाइड्रोजन को अपना सबसे नज़दीकी रिश्तेदार मानता है। एल्केन्स, एल्कीन्स और एल्काइंस के तो स्ट्रक्चर्स अपार हैं, एल्केन्स, एल्कीन्स और एल्काइंस के तो स्ट्रक्चर्स अपार हैं। IUPAC के साथ कॉमन नेम भी तो बहुत बड़ी मार है। अब आते हैं उस पर जिससे हर कोई परेशान है, अब आते हैं उस पर जिससे हर कोई परेशान है। इनऑर्गेनिक के खौफ से कहाँ कोई अनजान। इनऑर्गेनिक के लिए सबकी कुछ ऐसी ही परसेप्शन है, इनऑर्गेनिक के लिए सबकी कुछ ऐसी ही परसेप्शन है। जनरलाइजेशन कम और एक्सेप्शन ही एक्सेप्शन है। लेकिन जो भी कहो इस सब्जेक्ट की क्या बात है, लेकिन जो भी कहो इस सब्जेक्ट की क्या बात है। चाहे हो हीरे की अंगूठी या फिर हो कोविड के लिए 70% अल्कोहलिक सैनिटाइज़र बनाना, चाहे हो हीरे की अंगूठी या फिर हो कोविड के लिए 70% अल्कोहलिक सैनिटाइज़र बनाना, खोज कर देखो इस विषय की गहराई में, खोज कर देखो इस विषय की गहराई में, यही है सबसे बड़ा खजाना। थैंक यू।
सब एक से बढ़ गए, मतलब all are playing their videos wonderfully, but they are expressing. I mean, when I have seen the Sakshi's video, second video, third video, all are equally, what I can say, I don't have word even. Next, Deepmala.
Yes, ma'am. Next video, next participant is Abhay Singh from BSc Honors, second semester. Please, sir, allow Abhay Singh.
Abhay,
name of the student?
Abhay.
I have done it, karo sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, hello everyone. Today my poetry is related to chemistry, in which a boy impresses a girl by using words related to chemistry, because the girls likes chemistry a lot. It's only for entertainment, in which I have written many common words of chemistry. So let's enjoy it. Ma'am, please present my video.
Okay, sir.
हेलो एवरीवन, माई सेल्फ अभय सिंह। आज मैं आपको केमिस्ट्री से रिलेटेड एक छोटी सी पोएट्री सुनाने जा रहा हूँ, जिसमें एक लड़का होता है जो एक लड़की से प्यार करता है और वो लड़की केमिस्ट्री को बहुत पसंद करती है। तो लिखता है कि लिखा है उसकी यादों में कुछ इस तरह, लिखा है उसकी यादों में कुछ इस तरह कि तुम बहती हो लहरों में H2O की तरह, और मैं रहता हूँ तली में D2 की तरह। जब भी देखता हूँ पीरियोडिक टेबल याद आती हो तुम, जब भी देखता हूँ पीरियोडिक टेबल याद आती हो तुम, वो गोल्ड सी सुनहरी सूरत, इरिबियम से गुलाबी गाल और कोबाल्ट सी नीली आंखें। और इन सब की याद आने पर नोबल केस जैसा एहसास था, क्योंकि तुम्हारी आवाज़ में सुक्रोज सा मिठास था। तुम अट्रैक्टिव हो वेनेडियम की तरह, मैं सिंपल हूँ आयरन की तरह। तुम हार्ड हो डायमंड की तरह, मैं सॉफ्ट हूँ सोडियम की तरह। इससे मिलता है एक ही कंक्लूजन, इससे बेटर नहीं मिलेगा हाइपर कंजुगेशन। अब दे भी दो अपना अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन, आओ मिलकर कर लें बॉन्ड फॉर्म। बॉन्डिंग में करेंगे मोर एनर्जी रिलीज, ये प्रोसेस होगी एक जो और स्टेबल होगी अपनी यूज। थैंक यू एवरीवन।
भाई केमिस्ट्री का ऐसा स्वरूप तो मैंने अपनी जिंदगी में पहली बार देखा है, वो भी कोविड के टाइम में है, जहाँ सारी दुनिया में हाहाकार मचा हुआ है। उसमें इसने yesterday I have delivered my lecture there. I told him very frankly, chemistry is not only confined to ionic bonding and covalent bonding and coordinate bonding. Then he applied in this way. I'm really shocked. Next, Deepmala.
And next performance is ma'am in a group, and the participants are Meenal, Kanika, Sanskriti, and Anupama from BSc Physical Science, third year. Sir, allow Meenal.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Unmute. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Today we, Anupama, Kanika, Meenal, and Sanskriti are here going to present a poem in front of you all. Topic is chemistry. Now, chemistry is such a wonderful subject. We all know that. Chemistry is everywhere, from our body to surroundings. It's everywhere. We try to just express our thoughts, what we think about chemistry in front of you. It's just a simple poetry in our own simple words. I hope you all will enjoy hearing this poetry. Actually, poetry is something which expresses more in less words. So we just try that only. And now we are in first year, so इतना अच्छा हमसे नहीं हो पाया, पर जितना हुआ we gave our best. So now, sir, please present our poetry.
Sir, play video number 6.
Just time to it.
हम तुम्हें एक पोएम सुनाते हैं, तुम्हें केमिस्ट्री से मिलवाते हैं। केमिस्ट्री है नाम जिसका उस सब्जेक्ट की सबसे यारी है, केमिस्ट्री है नाम जिसका उस सब्जेक्ट की सबसे यारी है, तभी तो केमिस्ट्री में सबसे प्यारी है। फिजिक्स पढ़ो, मैथ्स पढ़ो या पढ़ो कुछ और, फिजिक्स पढ़ो, मैथ्स पढ़ो या पढ़ो कुछ और, पर केमिस्ट्री की तो बात ही निराली है। शुरू करते हैं एटम से, जिस एटम में पूरी केमिस्ट्री समाई है। शुरू करते हैं एटम से, जिस एटम में पूरी केमिस्ट्री समाई है। अरे जैसे नहीं मिलते दुश्मन दोस्त के यहाँ, जैसे नहीं मिलते दुश्मन दोस्त के यहाँ, वैसे नहीं मिलते यहाँ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स न्यूक्लियस के यहाँ।
पीरियोडिक टेबल केमिस्ट्री की कैटरीना कैफ है, इसके बिना केमिस्ट्री अनसेफ है। केमिकल बॉन्डिंग में मैंने एटम्स की एडजस्टमेंट देखी है, जैसे मैग्नीशियम ने Cl के साथ बॉन्ड बनाकर क्या बढ़िया एग्जिस्टेंस दिखाई है। टेबल पे मैंने सारे एलिमेंट्स एक साथ रखे हुए देखे हैं। सबका साथ सबका विकास मोदी जी से पहले हमने यहाँ से सीखा है।
डायरेक्शन लाइफ में बहुत ज़रूरी है, इक्विलिब्रियम हमें यही दर्शाता है। फिजिबल है या नहीं है थर्मो हमें सीधी बात बताता है, आगे जाता रिएक्शन पीछे आ जाता है। ली चार्टिलियर हमें यही दर्शाता है। SPDF ने सबकी वाट लगाई है, इतना रट्टा है इसमें मानो एक मूवी की स्क्रिप्ट इसके अंदर समाई है। खूबसूरत है, प्यारा है, ये सब्जेक्ट अपने में निराला है। धाक जमाना इसको अच्छे से आता है, तभी तो बड़ी बड़ी लैब्स में इसका नाम लिया जाता है।
कहाँ नहीं है केमिस्ट्री, केमिस्ट्री इज एवरीवेयर एंड इट्स टू अमेजिंग, आई स्वेयर। इट स्टेट्स दैट dilute your sorrows, you operate your worries, boil your ego, filter your mistakes, then there comes a crystal of happiness. लो कर लो बात एक ये ग्रिग्नार्ड की, ये तो सबका दादा है, ऑर्गेनिक में कहीं ना कहीं से आ ही जाता है। किसी को बनाता है तो किसी की खूबियां दिखाता है, यहाँ सबका अपना अलग ही रोल है, केमिस्ट्री के बिना दुनिया गोल गोल है।
वंडरफुल वंडरफुल।
थैंक यू मीनल एंड ग्रुप। मैम मैं इसमें एक बात बोलना चाहूँगी। यहाँ कनिका ने एक एक तरफ हमारा ध्यान आकर्षित किया है। मोदी जी का एक स्लोगन है, सबका साथ सबका विकास। ठीक है, ये हमें अपने कंट्री के डेवलपमेंट के लिए दिया था, लेकिन ये काफी टाइम पहले से हम लोग शायद इस स्लोगन को फॉलो करते आ रहे हैं अपने पीरियोडिक टेबल में। और साथ में ना सिर्फ हम अपने कंट्री का डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं, बल्कि इसके साथ साथ हम ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड का डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं। तो ये जो इसकी पोएम में जो ये था, ये लाइन से मेरे को बहुत अच्छी लगी, इसलिए मैंने इसको थोड़ा रिपीट किया। एंड नेक्स्ट इन्होंने कनिका ने ही शायद बताया है, पीरियोडिक टेबल इज द कैटरीना कैफ ऑफ आवर केमिस्ट्री। आई थिंक जो भी जितने भी हमारे वर्ल्ड में खूबसूरत जो भी रंग हैं, वो सारे हमारी पीरियोडिक टेबल में समाये हुए हैं। शायद इसीलिए पीरियोडिक टेबल है वो कैटरीना कैफ कहलाए हुए हैं। एंड इन नेक्स्ट इन सेम पोएम
मैं एक चीज कहना चाहूंगी दीपमाला, मेरे को ये नहीं पता था कि पीरियोडिक टेबल को जिस तरह हम पढ़ रहे हैं वहां पे मॉडलिंग की इतनी अच्छी खुशबू आ रही है, ये नहीं पता था हमें कि मॉडलिंग की खुशबू आ रही है। देयर इज कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मूवी हीरोइंस इज आल्सो देयर, इट एग्जिस्ट इन आवर पीरियोडिक टेबल। वंडरफुल। लोगों उन्होंने एक सोच दी, कहते हैं ना कि सोच बहुत बड़ी चीज होती है। दिस इज आल्सो नेक्स्ट कवि सम्मेलन केमिस्ट्री में होने जा रहा है, और जो केमिस्ट्री के लोग कभी हंसते नहीं है ना, वो हंसते हंसते गिर जाएंगे। So this is the innovation. Wonderful. Next.
And ma'am, Sakshi also have told us the chem is the model actress of spectroscopy is the chem model. So we can say that जैसे किसी मूवी में कोई एक्ट्रेस के बिना कोई भी मूवी अधूरी है, उसी तरह से हमारा केमिस्ट्री है वो भी बिना स्ट्रक्चर डिटर्मिनेशन के कभी पूरा नहीं हो सकता। इसी तरह से ये स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी है, ये कैम की हम इसको मॉडल एक्ट्रेस यहाँ बोल सकते हैं। और यहाँ लास्ट में संस्कृति ने बोला है ग्रिग्नार्ड रिएजेंट इज, ये दादा हैं केमिस्ट्री के, तो शायद मेरे हिसाब से इनका कहने का ये होगा मीनिंग कि मैम जहाँ कहीं भी ऑर्गेनिक रिएक्शंस में हम लोग जहाँ कहीं भी हमें प्रॉब्लम फेस करते हैं, वहाँ ग्रिग्नार्ड रिएजेंट को यूज करके और हम अपनी केमिस्ट्री की इक्वेशन को केमिकल रिएक्शंस को आगे बढ़ा लेते हैं। तो जिस तरह से एक फैमिली में जो बड़े लोग हैं हमारी हर प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन कर देते हैं, उसी तरह से ग्रिग्नार्ड रिएजेंट है ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री में हमारी हर प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन कर देते हैं। तो इनकी पोएम का कुछ लाइन्स है, ये मेरे को बहुत अच्छी लगी। थैंक यू मीनल एंड ग्रुप फॉर सच अ नाइस पोएम। नाउ आवर नेक्स्ट पार्टिसिपेंट is Sonu from BSc Honors first year. Sir, allow Sonu.
One is there are two songs actually, Sonu Kamal and Sonu Kumar.
Sir, Sonu, please raise your hand. I think sir.
Okay, yes.
This is Sonu Kumar.
Sonu, unmute yourself.
Yes. Good afternoon to all. My name is Sonu. I'm from Chemistry Honors, BSc Chemistry Honors, first year, second semester. I have prepared a rap which is on chemistry, which contain basic rule which is used in our daily life, like organic dissolve in organic and inorganic is dissolved in inorganic. So thank you. Ma'am, please start my video.
Hello everyone, my name is Sonu and my course name is BSc Honors Chemistry, first year, second semester. Now I am singing a rap on chemistry. So now, chemistry is subject, make us perfect. Let me know who is perfect. Who can understand this subject other than physics? Chemistry reveals reason behind any problem which is in your life. Make us happy to live in style. Chemistry is everywhere, where in our life. Organic inorganic, but reason is not blind. Bonding having reason. Why organic inorganic and non-organic in non-organic?
Now, you know what is the reason, where reason is not blind. Everything is okay. Just open your mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonu. Sonu is also giving a message from his poem that chemistry is everywhere, and it makes us smart and perfect. So thank you so much, Sonu, for giving such a nice message through your poem. And our next participant is Bhavna from BSc first year honors. Sir, allowed to Bhavna.
Hello, I am audible, ma'am.
Yes.
A very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Bhavna from BSc Chemistry Honors, second semester, and I am representing a song on organic chemistry. As we all know, physical chemistry and inorganic chemistry are so difficult in my opinion, and that's why I chose organic chemistry. I hope you like it. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello everyone, my name is Bhavna from Chemistry Honors second semester. Today I am here to represent a song. I hope you all like it. I took this class once when school was filled with all the weird rules. We learned the functional groups. They are reactive sites, alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. Carbon bonds up to 3 times. They are named with ane, ene or ine. And now our skills will shine. Chains of hydrocarbons, nitrogen is in there, often double bonded oxygens. Hey, tell us what you call these compounds. I just learned these and they are organic. Alcohol and carboxylic acids and all the aldehydes, amines and amides. I love those ketones, esters and ethers. Ethers are where we will begin. These groups contain oxygen. It joins to HC groups. The name contains oxy. Amines are where we will go next. They come through in cool classes. These guys contain nitrogen and an amine suffix. Chains of hydrocarbons. Nitrogen is in there of double bonded oxygens. Tell us what you call these compounds. Hey, we are not done yet. Alcohols are crazy. They contain hydroxyl. That's OH baby. Sometimes you will see COOH at the end of a chain. It's carboxylic acid. Another alkyl group replaces the H. The smallest groups are in my life in sugars and carbs, in two compounds, ketones and aldehydes. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू भावना. भावना ने हमें बहुत ही हेलो थैंक यू भावना. भावना ने हमें बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग वे में ऑर्गेनिक फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स और उनकी प्रॉपर्टीज और उनके स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में यहाँ बताया है. और अगर इस तरीके से हम लोग इन्हें लर्न करेंगे तो बहुत इजीली हम ये लर्न होंगे और बहुत लंबे टाइम तक स्टूडेंट्स को लर्न रहेंगे. तो थैंक यू भावना, यू हैव डन गुड जॉब. एंड ऑल्सो नाउ आई एम इनवाइटिंग our ninth participant. This is not from our college. This is from Zakir Hussain College, and he had not joined, and also he is not in our meeting due to some medical emergency. But I am playing his video. So Ajay sir, please play the video of Gagan Malhotra, video number 9.
आजा रे तुझको मैं सुनाता हूँ 12th केमिस्ट्री की कहानी. पहले लेसन से 9वें लेसन तक की बड़ी है बेदर्द कहानी. आजा रे तुझको मैं सुनाता हूँ 12th केमिस्ट्री की कहानी. पहले लेसन से 9वें लेसन तक की बड़ी है बेदर्द कहानी. अब सॉलिड स्टेट के इतने सारे स्ट्रक्चरों को मैं कैसे याद कर पाऊँ. उसके अंदर अब मैग्नेटिज्म को भी अब कहाँ से मैं घुसाऊँ. क्या है ये, क्या है ये, क्या है ये है केमिस्ट्री, केमिस्ट्री की कहानी, बस दिखने में है सेक्सी और कभी समझ न आनी। सॉल्यूशंस, हा 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 हा, इतने लॉस क्यों लगाते हैं, हा 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 हा, टेम्परेचर कम करने से, हा 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 हा, और लिक्विड में तो सॉल्युबिलिटी घटाते हैं पर गैस में इसे बढ़ाते हैं। सब समझ आने पर भी कोलिगेटिव ना समझने की रीत निभाते हैं। हाय रे ऐसे लटके हम तो, आगे तो बिजली के झटके हैं, अगर को सोल्ट ब्रिज में मिला लो वरना ये सेल लेना चलते हैं। ये है केमिस्ट्री, केमिस्ट्री की कहानी, बस दिखने में है सेक्सी और कभी समझ न आनी। केमिकल काइनेटिक्स में सब समझ आ जाता है, फिर भी स्यूडो ऑर्डर है जो पता नहीं कहाँ निकल आता है। हाय रे ऐसी सरफेस केमिस्ट्री, और सरफेस छोड़ के जिसमें सब कुछ है, एंजाइम से लेके कोलोइड, भैया पता नहीं इसमें क्यों पढ़ते हैं। सो गाइस लेट्स कम ऑन टू द रैप। आइसोलेशन का एलिंगम डायग्राम जिसे मैंने पढ़ के बोला राम राम राम, आइसोलेशन का एलिंगम डायग्राम जिसे मैंने पढ़ के बोला राम राम राम। जोन रिफाइनिंग, वेपर फेज रिफाइनिंग, इन्हीं का है बस यहाँ कहो राम। इनऑर्गेनिक आगे है भैया, PDF को रटो तुम आज, गाने बनाओ नॉलेज बढ़ाओ, एलिमेंट्स को करो तुम याद, कोऑर्डिनेशन को मत भूलो कोऑर्डिनेशन को मत भूलो यार, हर्नर सन को करो ना नाराज, एक ही मेटल सबसे कैसे करे प्यार, कोऑर्डिनेट बॉन्ड है इसका राज। ये है केमिस्ट्री, केमिस्ट्री की कहानी, बस दिखने में है सेक्सी और कभी समझ ना आनी। थैंक यू।
हेलो, वेरी एनर्जेटिक एंड एंटरटेनिंग परफॉर्मेंस बाय गगन। लेकिन गगन अभी हमारे साथ यहाँ नहीं है कुछ मेडिकल इमरजेंसी की वजह से, बट थैंक यू सो मच गगन फॉर गिविंग सच अ नाइस परफॉर्मेंस एंड एंटरटेनिंग अस। एंड नाउ आवर लास्ट परफॉर्मेंस is from Gargi College, and I invite Pooja Bhatt. Pooja Bhatt is there. Please raise your hand, Pooja.
She's here.
She is not here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Pooja Bhatt. I am a student of BSc Physical Science, first year from Gargi College. My poem title is Chemistry Lover. From this poem, I would like to convey the message that how I like the chemistry using some chemistry terms.
My poem title is Chemistry Love. I'm attached to you like an electron to a proton. Together we form an ionic bond. I'm drawn towards you. We follow rule of Pauli exclusion. Our love is unique as an orbital that only two electrons can fill the space. As my love for you increases, I'm in this excited state. As our love is exothermic love, not just absorbing it. Sometimes I am selfish enough to be an endothermic reaction, to be an endothermic love. When you are gone, I am a noble gas. When you are gone, I am a noble gas, an inert substance. When I am without you, the whole world seems still, and I am at equilibrium. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. And Pooja have told us how the ionic bonds are formed in inorganic in a very interesting way, and how the exothermic and endothermic reactions takes place by releasing or absorbing energy, and why the noble gas elements are stable. So it's a very interesting way to learn to learn the facts of chemistry. Thank you so much, Pooja. And now, I hope all of you enjoyed this session. जिस भी किसी को थोड़ा भी अगर किसी से प्यार है तो कहीं ना कहीं उसका दिल इस सेशन में आज जरूर जुड़ा होगा, कहीं ना कहीं उसके चेहरे पर कोई ना कोई मुस्कुराहट जरूर आई होगी। जैसा कि आप लोग जो मुझे जानते हैं उन्होंने भी शायद देखा होगा कि मैं भी बहुत कम मुस्कुराती हूँ, लेकिन कुछ स्टूडेंट्स की परफॉर्मेंस देख के मेरे भी चेहरे पर मुस्कुराहट है, तो मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि शायद आप लोगों के चेहरे पे भी इसी तरह से मुस्कुराहट आई होगी। इस पेंडेमिक के टाइम पे जब हर कोई स्ट्रेस में है और हम हर वक्त इस स्ट्रेस के कारण बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स, हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही है हमारे साथ, तो उस टाइम पे ऐसे कंपटीशन का होना एक हमारे हेल्थ के लिए भी बहुत बेनिफिशियल है। और साथ में हमारे स्टूडेंट्स की बहुत सी राइटिंग स्किल्स भी इसके थ्रू यहाँ बाहर आई है। इवन मैम कुछ स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे हैं, मैं एक थिंग बताना चाह रही हूँ, मैं एक बात बताना चाह रही हूँ कि इन मोस्ट ऑफ द परफॉर्मेंसेज आर नॉट कॉपीड फ्रॉम एनीवेयर। हमारे स्टूडेंट्स ने अपने आप अपनी परफॉर्मेंस से लिरिक्स बनाए हैं और यहाँ अपने वीडियोस रिकॉर्ड किए। तो फर्स्ट आई कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट टू ऑल स्टूडेंट्स, ऑल परफॉर्मेंस फॉर देयर नाइस एफर्ट्स, एंड ऑल्सो आई थैंक टू अर्जा मैम फॉर कंटिन्यूस गाइडेंस एंड सपोर्ट। और मैम आपके मोटिवेशन के बिना शायद ये पॉसिबल नहीं था मेरे लिए ये सब करना। एंड आई ऑल्सो थैंक टू गौरव सर, जो संडे के दिन भी उन्होंने हमारे इतना साथ दिया और कंटिन्यूस हमारे साथ बने हुए हैं। और अजय सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू सो मच अजय सर। नेट की इशू की वजह से बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी, सर ने इसे सॉल्व किया। एंड मैं आर्जा मैम से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी मैम अगर आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं तो। एंड ऑल्सो थैंक्स टू माई ऑल कोलीग्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स फॉर वॉचिंग दिस सेशन। And also thank to Nirja especially.
मैं एक ही चीज कहूंगी दीपमाला, I have seen Deepmala. Deepmala is looking very tense. Always she doesn't smile. So I have seen smile today her face. So this is the beautiful gift for me also. Even I have called her and I said, Deepmala, of your video, if you have some problem, then she said I am some medical problem in throat and also. And one thing I just wanted to tell you, each and everybody, these kind of poem, because basically I'm also a poet. I used to write a poet a lot. And I used to write my poem on this संघर्ष और स्त्री जैसे होते हैं ना, नारी शक्ति पे बहुत लिखती हूँ। तो एक बार when I was very young, बहुत सारी चीजें जिंदगी में होती है, बहुत तबीयत वगैरह मेरी खराब थी, तो मैं पोएम बहुत लिखती थी। तो मैंने एक लिखी थी पोएम, वो मैं आपको सुनाती हूँ, बहुत अच्छी है और इंस्पिरेशन भी आपको इससे मिलेगा। कि संघर्ष ने तोड़ा लाख मगर तोड़ ना सका, मरण शैया तक पहुंचाया पर मार ना सका, जो काम उसने ना किया वो मैं करूंगी, संघर्ष को जड़मूल से नष्ट करूंगी। तो ये मेरी छोटी सी पोएम थी जो मेरे जिंदगी का मंत्र भी थी उस वक्त जब मैं छोटी थी। आप लोग को आवाज आई?
यस मैम।
आवाज आई?
यस मैम।
तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी, जो बच्चों ने पोएम बनाई है, इट्स नॉट वेरी इजी। कभी ये नहीं सोचना कि ये बच्चे पोएम बना रहे हैं या गाना बना रहे हैं तो शायद ये इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है केमिस्ट्री में। एक चीज आपने ध्यान नहीं दिया, when you don't know the word, you don't have a good vocabulary, then it will be very difficult to speak any language, whether it's a Hindi, English, Sanskrit. Vocabulary is very, very necessary. Same thing with chemistry. When he used the word Ellingham diagram, when he used the word nuclear, when he used the word fission, fusion, and so many difficult words, from that word you can easily identify that he is a well-read person of chemistry. तभी वो इतनी अच्छी पोएम बना पाया। चलो आज वैसे भी ज्यादा टाइम हुआ और आई एम थैंकफुल टू ऑल द ऑर्गेनाइजर, दीपमाला, अजय, नीरजरा, राधिका, रेशु, ओमपाल, and Ompal has asked question with the sir also. So yeah, Ompal, you are very much interested in NMR? Might be he left the meeting. He just came for that session only. रेशु?
जी मैम।
हाँ आग क्यों ओमपाल, तुम्हें एनएमआर में बहुत इंटरेस्ट था?
जी मैम, मैं करता भी हूँ ना एनएमआर।
हाँ, that's why I said कि today's lecture is for physical chemistry and might be physical chemistry second year student and final year student both has enjoyed. So I dropped the message also, kindly join. It was very good, and it's very difficult to make slides and all that. It's not so easy. So might be they have joined and they have taken benefit of that particular session. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much, all of you.
Sabka saath, sabka vikas. I am ending this session. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, end करें session?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.